Good morning, warrior. Before you even reach for your phone, before you scroll, before you let the world invade your peace, stop, breathe. Because these first few moments after you wake up are not ordinary. They are sacred. Science confirms it. Your brain is most moldable in the morning. The thoughts you choose first thing don't just float away. They carve grooves into your mind, setting the tone for how you think, feel, and act for the rest of the day. Neuroscience calls this neuroplasticity. The Stoics called it training the soul. And today we're going to train. We're going to learn 10 powerful truths you must tell yourself every morning if you want to master your emotions, sharpen your focus, and become unshakable in a chaotic world. These aren't empty affirmations or wishful fantasies. They are battle-tested principles drawn from the writings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. For the next hour, I'll guide you step by step through these truths. Each one is a weapon forged by philosophy and reinforced by science that you can use every single morning to fortify your mind and body. Think of this as your daily training ground, your mental gymnasium. So let's begin with the first declaration. Repeat it after me. I am responsible for how today feels. Pause. Let that sink in. Most people live their lives like emotional slaves. Their happiness depends on traffic, the weather, their bank account, or whether someone texts them back. The moment they wake up, they grab their phone and hand over control of their emotions to strangers, headlines, or notifications. If something positive appears, they're happy. If something negative appears, their entire day collapses. But the Stoics discovered something radical. Your emotions are your choice. Viktor Frankl, a man who endured unthinkable suffering in Nazi concentration camps, wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. If someone could maintain dignity and choice in a camp designed to strip him of both, you and I can certainly maintain control over a stressful meeting, a rude comment, or a delayed train. When you rise in the morning and say, 'I am responsible for how today feels,' you are declaring independence. You are saying, 'My peace is not for sale. My mood is not a puppet on someone else's string. My energy belongs to me, not to the chaos of the outside world.' This doesn't mean you'll never feel sadness, frustration, or anger. You will, but the difference is this. You will recognize those emotions as visitors, not permanent residents. You allow them to knock, you acknowledge them, and then you let them leave. You no longer give them the keys to your house. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Let me ask you, how would your life change if you truly believed this? Imagine walking into your workplace, not as someone waiting for approval or fearing criticism, but as someone rooted in unshakable inner control. Imagine facing an argument with calm instead of rage. Imagine traffic not as a trigger for fury, but as training for patience. This is the freedom the Stoics promised, the freedom of the inner fortress. Now here's how you put it into practice. Every morning, before you look at your phone, before you even leave your bed, place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That rhythm is yours, not the world's. And say aloud, slowly with conviction, "I am responsible for how today feels. My emotions are my choice. My peace is my decision. Today I choose strength over weakness, clarity over confusion, and hope over fear." If you do this every single day, something extraordinary happens. Your mind begins to rewire itself. That old reflex of instantly blaming traffic, your boss, or bad luck for your mood, it begins to weaken, and in its place grows a calm awareness that says, "I decide how today feels." No one else. This is the first key, but the moment you grasp this, something powerful happens. You realize that if you are responsible for how today feels, then you must also protect that responsibility. Which brings us to the second declaration, but we'll get there in the next part. For now, sit with this truth. Practice it tomorrow morning. Say it aloud. And notice how differently the world feels when you understand that no one, not even the universe itself, can dictate your emotions unless you hand them the power. Because remember this, the strongest people you admire, the calm leaders, the resilient warriors, They aren't superhuman. They've simply mastered this one principle: ownership over their inner world. And so must you. Take a moment and imagine this. Your mind is a fortress. Strong stone walls, iron gates, towers reaching into the sky. Inside that fortress lies your most valuable treasure, your peace. Now let me ask you, who is guarding that fortress? For most people, the gates are wide open. Anyone, anything, any random event can march in and take over. A rude comment from a stranger? It barges in. A disappointing email? It storms through. A negative headline? It camps inside your head, rent-free all day. But you must become different. You must become the gatekeeper of your own mind. And the words that unlock this power are simple yet absolute. Nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. Say it again. Let it echo. Because here's the truth. Life will always present you with turbulence. People will insult you. Projects will fail. The world will throw chaos at your doorstep. But chaos cannot enter unless you open the door. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, surrounded by betrayal, politics, and wars, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice, he didn't say you might find strength or sometimes you'll find strength. He said you will, because once you claim dominion over your inner fortress, nothing external can enslave you again. But let's be honest, most people never learn this. They walk through life handing out keys to their fortress like free samples. They give a key to their coworker who gossips. They give a key to a stranger on social media. They give a key to traffic, to weather, to things utterly beyond their control. And then they wonder why their inner world feels like a battlefield. The Stoics knew better. They trained themselves to pause, to insert space between event and reaction. Epictetus taught that it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about events. The insult itself doesn't disturb you. The late train doesn't disturb you. Your interpretation of it, your judgment, that is what shakes the walls of your fortress. Here's the secret. There is always a sacred pause, a sliver of silence between what happens to you and how you respond. In that space lives your freedom. In that space you get to decide, will I let this in or will I guard my peace? Let me give you an example. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. The automatic response? Anger, shouting, cursing. But pause for a moment. What if you chose differently? What if you said, my peace is too valuable to give away to a reckless stranger? They don't even know me. Why should I let them control my blood pressure? In that moment, you've locked the gate. You've kept your peace intact. Or imagine your boss sends a harsh email. Instead of spiraling into defensiveness or self-doubt, you pause, you breathe, you say, this email is words. I decide what they mean. I decide if they enter my fortress or bounce off my walls. That pause, that choice, that's mastery. The Stoics called this discipline of desire, the ability to remain centered no matter how wild the storm outside becomes. Picture yourself in the middle of a hurricane. The winds rage, debris flies, thunder crashes, yet at the very center of the storm, there is stillness. That stillness is your peace. That stillness is what you must protect. So how do you practice this every morning? Here's the ritual. Stand in front of the mirror. Look yourself in the eyes, not with arrogance, but with calm authority, and declare, nothing can disturb my peace without my permission. I am the guardian of my inner world. Today I choose who and what gets access to my mind. My peace is not for sale, not for rent, not up for negotiation. Say it until you believe it. Say it until it vibrates in your chest. And then step into your day as the gatekeeper of your fortress. Over time, you will notice something extraordinary. The same events that used to trigger you will lose their power. The insults, the disappointments, the random chaos. They may still arrive at your gates, but you no longer grant them entry. And when people ask you, how are you always so calm? How do you stay so composed when everything around you is falling apart? You'll know the truth, because calm is not an accident. Calm is not luck. Calm is discipline. Calm is the daily choice to guard your peace. So from this day forward, make this your mantra. I am the guardian of my own peace. And when you live this way, you become unshakable. Not because nothing bad ever happens, but because you've built walls too strong for chaos to climb. This is your second declaration. Master it, and you master the storms. Take a deep breath, exhale slowly, and listen carefully, because what I'm about to tell you is the most liberating truth you will ever learn. Most people waste their lives fighting battles they cannot win. They obsess over the weather, they stress over politics, they replay the past, they fear the future. They tie their peace to things completely beyond their reach, and then they wonder why they feel powerless. But the Stoics gave us a map, a simple division of the universe into two categories. What you can control, what you cannot. And here's the declaration you must say every morning to free yourself from wasted energy. Today, I focus only on what I can control. Let's break this down. What is truly within your control? Your effort, your choices, your actions, your words, your reactions. That's it. That's your kingdom. Everything else, the economy, the past, the future, other people's behavior, luck, random events, all of that is outside your command. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, hammered this truth into his students. Some things are up to us, and some things are not. Master this distinction, and you master your life. Ignore it, and you will always be a prisoner. Think about how much energy we waste trying to control what we cannot. We replay old arguments in our heads as if somehow we can rewrite history. We obsess about whether people like us, as if we can crawl inside their minds and force approval. We fear what might happen next week, next month, next year, even though tomorrow is never promised. It's madness. And it's why so many live exhausted, anxious, burned out. Now imagine a different way. Imagine pouring 90% of your energy into only what is yours. Your thoughts, your actions, your character. Suddenly your life feels lighter. You no longer carry the weight of the entire world. You carry only your share. The Stoics used a visualization called the circle of control. Picture 3 circles: the innermost circle, things you fully control; the middle circle, things you can influence; the outer circle, things you cannot control at all. Your mission each morning is to put nearly all your attention on the inner circle. That is where your power lives. Let me give you an example. Say the stock market crashes, outside your control. But what is in your control? How much you choose to learn about finance, how disciplined you are with your spending, how you respond emotionally. That's your circle. Or say your friend betrays you. Their actions? Outside your control. But your response? Inside. Will you seek revenge? Or will you hold your dignity and protect your peace? That's where your power lies. Or let's take something small. You wake up and it's raining. The rain is outside your control. But whether you complain all day or enjoy the rhythm of the drops, that's yours. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled the largest empire of his time, reminded himself of this constantly. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." He knew that even an emperor couldn't bend reality to his will, but he could always bend his will to reality. Now here's the morning practice. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and declare with conviction, "Today I focus only on what I can control. I will not waste energy on things outside my power. My attention belongs to my actions, my effort, my choices, and my responses. This is where my strength lives. This is where my freedom begins." Say it until you feel the burden of the world lifting from your shoulders. Because when you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you become unstoppable. This is why the Stoics were unshaken even in disaster. Because they knew, fate can take away my fortune, my status, even my health. But fate cannot take away my reasoned choice, my virtue, my inner fortress. And here's the paradox. When you focus only on what you can control, you actually become far more effective in the world. Because your energy is no longer scattered, it's focused like a laser. Instead of worrying about 10 things you can't change, you invest everything into the one thing you can. And that one thing makes the difference. So remember this, every wasted thought on what you can't control is stolen fuel. Fuel that could have been used to build, to create, to grow, to live. Repeat after me. Today I focus only on what I can control. Live by this truth, and your anxiety will shrink, your power will expand, and your life will finally align with what is real. This is your third declaration. Master it, and you will never again drown in things that were never yours to carry. Listen carefully. This may be the most important reminder you give yourself each morning. We live in a world obsessed with outcomes. Numbers, likes, followers, grades, salaries, titles. From the moment we wake up, society whispers, prove yourself, perform, achieve, show results, or you are nothing but the Stoics, and every wise teacher across time knew this was a trap. Because if your worth is tied to outcomes, then your worth is never safe. You win today and you feel invincible. You fail tomorrow and you feel worthless. Your sense of self becomes a yo-yo, bouncing up and down with every victory, every loss, every little judgment from the outside world. That is not freedom, that is slavery. This is why every morning you must remind yourself of the fourth declaration. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. Let those words free you. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher, had to remind himself of this constantly. Imagine ruling an empire where every day could bring either glory or disaster. He wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment: your worth, your dignity, your value as a human being. These things are not determined by today's wins or today's losses. They are measured by something deeper, by your effort, your character, your integrity, your consistency. Think about it. If a child is learning to walk and they fall 100 times, do we call them a failure? Of course not. We admire their persistence. We celebrate their courage to stand up again. Why then, as adults, do we treat our own stumbles as signs of weakness instead of proof of effort? The Stoics taught this clearly. Outcomes are never fully in your control. Effort is, virtue is, discipline is. The result? That belongs to fate. Epictetus told his students, in life our chief duty is this, to distinguish what belongs to others from what is our own. Outcomes belong partly to fate, partly to chance, partly to circumstances, but effort, that belongs entirely to you. So here is your morning practice. Before you start your day, stand still, close your eyes and say, today I release myself from the prison of outcomes. I am not my wins. I am not my losses. I am measured by my effort, my discipline, my choices, my character. My worth is unshakable because it comes from within. Say this until the pressure softens, until you feel the chains of outside judgment fall away. Because here's the truth. You will not win every battle. You will not succeed at everything you attempt. You will be rejected, misunderstood, overlooked. But none of these things reduce your value. They are simply part of the process, part of the training ground of life. Think of the greatest minds in history. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoics, was exiled not once but twice. Marcus Aurelius faced defeat after defeat in war. Did these outcomes erase their worth? Their worth was written in their persistence, their wisdom, their virtue, and not in temporary results. Now imagine living this way yourself. Imagine starting your day not with anxiety about whether things will go perfectly, but with confidence that no matter what happens, you are already enough. You are already worthy. This shift changes everything. It allows you to take risks because failure no longer threatens your identity. It allows you to work with focus because your attention is on effort, not the scoreboard. It allows you to rest because you are not measuring your soul against outcomes that were never fully in your control anyway. So remember, outcomes come and go. Success is temporary. Failure is temporary. But your worth? That is eternal, if you root it in the right place. Repeat after me. My worth is not measured by today's outcomes. My worth is measured by my effort, my integrity, my discipline. No win or loss can define me because I already am. Carry this into your day, and you will no longer be crushed by failure or addicted to victory. You will be free, steady in success, steady in failure, unshaken in both. This is your fourth declaration. Master it, and you master the chains of comparison, judgment, and fear. Every morning before the world has a chance to test you, you must decide how you will view hardship. Because hardship will come, in small forms and in great ones. A missed train, a broken promise, a financial struggle, a health scare. None of us can escape it. Most people see adversity as punishment, as unfair, as a sign that life is against them. But the Stoics saw it differently. They saw adversity as the greatest teacher, the ultimate gymnasium for the soul. This is why your fifth declaration must be, adversity is training, not punishment. Say it again, and notice how it transforms the way you see challenges. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is not poetry. This is a strategy. The obstacle is not there to break you. It is there to shape you, to refine you, to strengthen you. Think of adversity as weights in a gym. No one enjoys the pain of lifting heavy iron, but we understand that it is necessary for growth. Without resistance, there is no strength. Without adversity, there is no resilience. Now consider this. Every morning when you wake up, you are stepping into a training ground. The day ahead will test you, not to punish you, but to prepare you, to carve away weakness, to reveal strength you didn't know you had. The Stoics believed that the gods, or fate or nature, gave us trials as opportunities to practice virtue. Seneca said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Think about that. The very challenges you complain about might actually be the exact conditions you need to grow. So how do you turn this into practice? Each morning, remind yourself, if today brings difficulty, I will treat it as a teacher. If today brings pain, I will ask, what strength is this forging in me? If today brings setbacks, I will say, this is training for the path ahead. Imagine a warrior in training. Every bruise, every scar, every tough lesson is not punishment. It is preparation. It is proof that they are becoming stronger. That is how you must see yourself. Let's make it practical. Say you lose your job. At first, panic, fear, but pause, remember, adversity is training. What is this moment teaching me? Perhaps resilience, perhaps adaptability, perhaps creativity, perhaps the courage to walk a new path you never would have chosen otherwise. Or imagine a relationship ending. The pain is real, but again, adversity is training. This heartbreak may be teaching you self-respect, independence, patience, or the ability to love more wisely in the future. Or something small, you spill your coffee, you're late to work, your plans collapse. Instead of shouting, "Why me?" ask, "How can I use this? What is this moment training in me?" Maybe patience, maybe humility, maybe simply the practice of laughing at life's small absurdities. This shift in perspective transforms suffering into fuel. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" And you start asking, "How is this happening for me?" Now here's the morning ritual. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and declare aloud, adversity is training, not punishment. Every trial I face is shaping me into something greater. What stands in my way becomes my way. I do not fear struggle. I welcome it as my teacher. Say it until you feel your posture shift, until you feel your mind sharpen, until you look at the day ahead not with dread, but with readiness. Because here's the truth. Life will not go easy on you. But if you choose this mindset, adversity will never destroy you. It will only forge you. Like fire refines gold, like storms shape the mountain, adversity will sculpt you into someone unshakable. Repeat after me. Adversity is training, not punishment. I am being shaped, not broken. Every struggle is building the strength I will need tomorrow. This is your fifth declaration. Master it, and you will never again be defeated by hardship. Instead, you will rise from it stronger, calmer, and more prepared for the path ahead. Pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your heart. Feel it beating. That rhythm is proof that you have already been given something priceless today. Another chance, another sunrise, another day to live, to learn, to grow. And yet here's the strange thing. Most people overlook this gift. They wake up already complaining, already chasing, already comparing. They look at what they don't have instead of what they do. And in doing so, they hand away one of the most powerful forces a human being can wield: gratitude. This is why your sixth declaration must be spoken with conviction each morning. Gratitude is my strongest weapon. Now you might wonder, why call it a weapon? Because gratitude is not passive. It is not just warm feelings or polite thank yous. Gratitude is active armor for the mind. It shields you against envy, against fear, against despair. It is the sword that cuts through negativity, the shield that blocks bitterness, the fire that keeps you moving forward even in darkness. The Stoics understood this deeply. Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." Marcus Aurelius, even while leading armies and facing plagues, reminded himself daily of the blessings still present in his life: the chance to wake up, the chance to serve, the chance to live according to virtue. Modern science confirms what the Stoics knew. Gratitude lowers stress, improves sleep, strengthens the immune system, and even rewires the brain to seek out the positive instead of the negative. Gratitude isn't just a mood, it's mental strength training. So what does it look like to wield gratitude as a weapon each morning? It begins with awareness. Before you let the world pull you into anxiety, pause and list what is already yours: your breath, your mind, your body, the roof above you, the people who care for you, the opportunities still open to you, the lessons you've learned, even from pain. Because here's the truth: no matter how dark life becomes, gratitude always gives you light. Always. Imagine this. You wake up and immediately think, "I'm already behind, I don't have enough, I need more." That mindset poisons the entire day. But if instead, before your feet touch the ground, you whisper, "Thank you for this breath. Thank you for this day. Thank you for one more chance to try again." Suddenly the world feels lighter. The weight shifts. Gratitude doesn't mean denying pain. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means that even in pain, you still notice the gifts. It means that even in loss, you still recognize what remains. It means that even in chaos, you still see small sparks of beauty. And those sparks keep you alive. So here's the ritual. Each morning after declaring your other truths, pause and name 3 things you are grateful for. Speak them aloud. They can be small: the warmth of your bed, the taste of clean water, the voice of a friend. Or they can be great: your health, your freedom, your ability to choose your path. Then seal it with this declaration: gratitude is my strongest weapon. I am rich, not in possessions, but in perspective. No darkness can defeat me, because I can always find light. No storm can break me, because I carry gratitude in my heart. Say this until you feel your chest expand, until you feel the shift inside, from lack to abundance, from fear to strength, from despair to hope. Because here's the secret: a grateful mind cannot be enslaved. The world may strip you of wealth, status, comfort, but it cannot strip you of the ability to say thank you. And in that thank you, you reclaim power. Gratitude is not weakness. Gratitude is resilience. Gratitude is rebellion against despair. Gratitude is choosing to see the miracle of being alive, even when life is hard. Repeat after me. Gratitude is my strongest weapon. I choose to see abundance, not lack. I choose to see blessings, not curses. And with gratitude in my heart, I cannot be defeated. Carry this truth into every morning, and you will discover something extraordinary. Life itself becomes lighter, not because circumstances change, but because you have changed. This is your 6th declaration. Master it, and you will walk through each day armored in gratitude, untouchable by bitterness, unstoppable by despair, radiant with strength.